Are we connected? Yes.
I think so.
Fuck yeah. Okay, here we go. Hello. Welcome to What the This is as you can see, the best EMS video podcast thing.
Absolutely.
Um, Explicit content warning. We're swearing, so yeah, don't be a child and watch this. Um, all right. Where's my chat window?
Yes, I think it's the only podcast.
Holy shit. Everyone's here. Cool. All right.
Awesome.
We're going to do the intro music.
All right.
All right. How's that? Hex 7 doesn't have a theme tune. All right. Cool. Okay. Right. Isaac, do you want to do the thing where you say who you are?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Hi, I'm Isaac. I do modular stuff and make things sometimes. I'm also here on this amazing podcast.
Oh, that's
Oh
not
wow,
good.
that's good. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever works.
All right. I have topics. Cool. Right. First topic. Input versus outcome based patching, by which I mean sometimes you patch because you need to make a piece of music. And other times you patch because you come up with a fun idea and you're just like, what's that going to sound like?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do that sometimes where I'll be like, you know, like sometimes it's good to kind of. Everyone's. Borstein says I'm quiet.
I can turn it up.
Okay. Hi, can I be heard better now? Am I fucking loud enough? Should I just continue? I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, sometimes I'll kind of I'll come out and I'll be like, all right, I want to make like a house thing, or I wanna. Oh, you have to max out, Isaac.
Maxed.
I'm maxed. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah, my mic is awful. I would rig it through the other mic, but I don't think I have. I can try getting that set up while I'm talking, but yeah, basically, sometimes you'll go out and you'll be like, oh, I want to make a house track, or oh, I want to make something that's like, with breaks or whatever. But sometimes I'll a lot of times you can find with like when you're trying to demo out demo a new module, you don't really go with the outset in mind where you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a whatever with this module. You want module, you're just like, oh, I want to see what this thing does. So
Yeah.
I find when I get new stuff that also tends to happen a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you ever think of like technique based things and go, that sounds interesting, I'm going to use that, and not
Yeah.
really worry about what's going to sound like?
Yeah. Sometimes I know when Mylar came out with that video about sample and holds, and he was like, "Oh, here's how you can do like analog bit reduction with sample and hold."
Mhm.
I just like immediately went and did that with the sample and hold. I was immediately like, oh, I'm gonna just see what happens with this. I'm gonna run whatever my luscious voice is and just happen, see what goes on with that. And so, hearing about new techniques, which is why it's so nice when people like share like little patch tricks like that, or they're like, oh yeah, you can do like ducking or envelope following with maths or something, and you're just like, oh, I want to give that a go,
Yeah.
So I definitely do that.
I guess also branching from this idea is different ways of sequencing. So if you don't really care what the music is for, how important is it to write a sequence or just allow a Turing machine to do its thing, or or Bloom or whatever?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Am I louder with that? I think I might be.
It sounds good to me.
All right, cool. Yeah, sorry. Just might help a little bit. Yeah, like sequencing too is one of those things where I tend to kind of pivot between wanting to do sort of like very prescriptive type sequencing where I've got like the key step and I'm like doing like note entry manually or something.
Mhm.
But sometimes you just are like that's the kind of appeal of me to me like something like a Turing machine or even like Rene or Bloom or something where you can just go kind of go boop 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 and then you
Yeah,
have something you're working with. It's just like easy data to kind of feed into your oscillators and voices and stuff.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
and
I find that since I've been using the Droid stuff, um, I've just been playing with like interesting ideas and not playing on what does it sound like
yeah,
keeping the sound side of things pretty simple, but just
yeah, so,
playing with sequencing or clock things or that kind of
yeah. I
stuff.
find myself like patching up just like basic sine wave. Like that's why I got a two
Yeah,
HP sine kind of recently, and that's like one of those things where it's like I'll just put like a basic ass sine wave with like a little decay envelope, and then I'll just, you know, I can use that as a pivot for like exploring something weird with kind of Turing machine ornament and crime sequencing or all that. My noise
yeah,
floor is louder. Yeah, I bet.
yeah. So I've got a little patch here with just three sine waves. Effects. Get rid of the just like three sequenced
Yeah,
waves.
and I think like just like using basic sine waves is a really good kind of you know way to do it. I think.
Yeah, and it has. I mean, I like sines. I tend towards like smoother waveforms, like
Yeah,
sines
yeah,
and
yeah.
triangles.
Triangles
Um,
triangles are really good. Just triangles are good for like little baseline thingies,
yeah,
but I tend to I
it's probably because I don't have any filters in my case. So
yeah, if you're in a more
yeah,
kind of additive type mood, you
yeah,
know, like cuz I think a sine wave through a filter is actually a really nice sound. It's not, a lot of people don't really do it that often cuz there's not like as many harmonics kind of sculpt
yep,
down. But like you get this weird kind of like bubbly extra sound on top of it.
yeah,
It's good for kind of pingy stuff too. Just if you want to just like if you have like a big delay network or something, you sometimes just want to just like put like a little boop, like a little tiny. I mean, that's what you're doing with Kali basically. I think
yeah.
is just like something really really basic. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
It's just nice.
Yeah, it's just pleasant.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
and they just put reverb on.
Yeah, you can just slather anything in reverb. Testing out effects too. If you're kind of talking about kind of you know I don't know. Sometimes you'll be like, from the outset, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I want to just try a patch with just like as much reverb as possible." Or I really like
Turn my volume
ducking,
down.
ducking reverb, or like compressing big reverb. So you have like a really big thing and just like pull it back. Um, like what was it on? Beats has a little CV input for the reverb level, and I think
Right.
kind of messing with like either effect send levels or kind of like the volume of the effect on something if you're kind of doing routing that way with VCAs and stuff is like a really good tool to kind of just like, yeah, it's just something cool to explore. Try it tonight, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
take
Well, I think that's kind of the comes back to the question is
yeah.
it's fine to not always make music.
I think yeah, that's
It's
like kind of yeah.
absolutely fine to run a sine wave through some effects and just like twist knobs for a bit.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
she said.
You know, um,
yeah. Yeah,
all that kind of
like
stuff.
yeah, no, definitely. And like that's kind of one of the best things about modular as like a medium is that it's very easy to like get on musical stuff, but it's also really fun, It's like
Exactly.
it's really fun to just make like horrible like squiggly weird, whatever noise and then just just it's like fun. It's not like something you would sit down and listen to or whatever, or you would ever release or sometimes even record. But it can be fun to just kind of noodle
Yeah.
and mess around with it.
I mean, that stuff just becomes like an ambient album, right?
Yeah, totally.
You just hit record and you get 10 hours of just like wishy-washy, reverby.
Well, you put a kick on
smash.
it, and then it's a techno album.
You can put a kick on it. I can put a kick on it.
That's all you need. A kick will just. There you go. Next Aphex Twin right there.
Yeah, the drum sequencing in Droid is tricky or trickier, because the drum sequencing is the same as the pitch sequencing in a way.
Aha.
Like it's just 4 random rhythms.
Yeah. I've been wanting to mess with. I was gonna do a stream maybe later today, but it might be another night, where I got a new program on Norns called Amen Break, and it has 2 knobs, Amen and Break.
Right. Okay.
And it just has loads of like drum breaks in it, and it will kind of it's a little data bender-y where it will just like throw these kind of rushes of probabilistic effect things, so it'll like stretch and like squash stuff and put in.
That's interesting.
Shit. Yeah, it's kind of cool because it's just like it's the kind of thing where you just like press play and it just starts doing all your drums for you. You don't have to like it's like set it and forget it.
Is that clockable?
Yes, and it'll actually scale the samples with the clock as well, so it can take MIDI clock in, or it has its internal clock, and if you set it to whatever BPM, it will match up with that. It's quite nice.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. I'd like to do a stream with it, but yeah.
So yeah. Any other thoughts on this topic?
Any other thoughts on this topic? I would say, like look up kind of techniques. People, I think it's easy to. It's a good thing to kind of look at least if you're looking on like synth YouTube and stuff. It's good to look at like sort of follow techniques that people are doing rather than looking at specific pieces of gear and kind of thinking about like, oh yeah, like do I like it because I really do I like this Nautilus demo because I really need a Nautilus, or do I like it because putting a filter on a delay sounds really cool and I should just try that. It's like good to kind of just try things because you might arrive at things that you wouldn't if you were trying just from the outset being like, oh, I'll make a house track or whatever, that kind of thing.
Whoa.
That's a little more personal. There we go.
Whoa. Jesus Christ.
Whoa. A little close.
Whoa.
Oh, now
Whoa.
I'm tiny. Now
Whoa.
it's just you.
Whoa, there we go.
Oh, that's how hex edit.
Okay, that's how you do it. Right,
that's
cool.
the hex edit. That's the what the hex setting.
Yeah, I agree. Watch. Don't turn off a tutorial because you don't like the music.
Yeah.
You can still get loads of useful information. And it'll sound like you when you use it anyway.
Yeah.
You're not going to suddenly start sounding like someone else.
And other people might not like the music that you make when you're just messing around with cool techniques, but the important thing is that you like it.
Yeah. And that you stream it on EMS.
Yeah. We better be able to hear it, goddammit.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about this on the DivKid Discord about like prep for performances, but it turned into a discussion about like the validity of live streaming versus live.
Oh yeah.
And they're just different.
Yeah.
They
are very different.
There's the barrier of entry to watching the stream is nothing. And actually the barrier of entry to streaming is virtually nothing as well.
It's just the hard, because live like IRL live is definitely like there's a certain level of kind of commitment you're making. Like if it's so especially there's a lot of pressure if it's a ticketed event. If it's like a ticketed event, I know Wavetable. I was pretty stressed out when I did that because it was like, oh fuck, people have paid £8 to see this. Like,
oh, is that ticketed?
Yeah, it's ticketed. It's ticketed. And so people are like paying for that, or even at the Attack release, or whatever events will be like, you need to bring people in, like we need that because we need to break even with the pub or whatever.
Yeah.
That we're at, and so you kind of have a certain amount of pressure. You have a pressure because like there's people in front of you and you like want to impress them. Like with a live stream, if you're not interested in the live stream, you just leave the live stream silently and go do fuck all else on your computer, you know, like,
or you mute it and you close the window and you pretend you're
I,
still watching, but you're not.
yeah, in
We've
real
all
life,
done it.
it's like you've already went down to the fucking pub and you've got a drink in your hand and you're just like sitting there and you're subjected to this now. So it feels like you have a certain responsibility to the audience as a performer, and there's a certain Any tips for collaborating live? Stogo Shuffle asks.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, that's a good one. Shared clock.
Um,
You need to have a shared clock,
mm,
I guess. That's a good
yeah,
one, I guess.
it depends what you're making,
Yeah.
right? Like we said with Forrestein's one, you don't need a shared clock if there's no tempo.
Oh yeah, that's
Right?
true. That's
If
true.
it's a doom drone, then you're fine.
Yeah.
You just need to. You don't even have to agree a key, but you probably should.
No, yeah. I remember when we were doing ours, we had it. I find from any live collaborations I've done, it's nice to have, and I kind of say this a lot, I feel like, but it's nice to have like one person kind of, or maybe not one person dedicated to one thing, but at least certain kind of distinct stations. So I know when we did our collaborary, we kind of had different things set up that the three of us sort of pivoted between. So we had like a modular doing something, another modular doing a different thing, a mini freak, and a drum machine. And so people would kind of trade off messing with the drum machine. People would trade off playing the mini freak because you can just play it, you know.
Yeah.
People would kind of adjust settings on the little modular. Oh, and then we had the video going too. So sometimes just
we had a lot of stuff.
We had a lot of stuff going.
It's a unique situation though, when there's just like a $2,000 drum machine just there. Like
definitely.
it doesn't really happen.
But I think it still carries over where it's like if you've got multiple people, it's good to kind of have different things for different people to do so you don't get bored.
Yeah.
It's nice if it's like or even just like and the kind of distinct enough elements where you can kind of do whatever on that element without disrupting the flow of everything.
Yeah.
So like if you've got two drones and someone suddenly like you know kind of turning up volume and timbre shifts and stuff, that's all going to kind of flow kind of smoothly. But if you've got like someone who's like, "Oops, stop! I got to edit the sequence," and you stop everything, it's super disruptive. It can be disruptive.
I think listening, it's not something electronic musicians have to do a lot, right? But you have to if you're playing with other people.
Yeah,
because you have to pay attention to when they're maybe taking control for a bit, right? And you step back and you just make your stuff less busy or quieter or whatever. And then they also need to be listening to when they're done. You hear them kind of finishing, you then come back in.
Like, oh, okay, I know when to whatever.
Yeah,
be courteous.
Yeah, it's difficult as well.
It is hard. Yeah,
it's a hard. It's not a hard skill to learn, but it's probably a hard situation to get into for most people.
Yeah, definitely.
But it works over
does.
internet and stuff.
Yeah,
but you probably have to do even more over the internet.
Yeah, kind of, because it's mostly, but that's mostly like streaming fuckery, like. I don't know. You have to mess with all that shit.
Yeah, I know the kind of this online collaboration stuff is coming along, but I think it's still not quite there yet.
It's still very much in kind of beta schemes.
Yeah.
It would be really cool if you could have a really tight like shared clock or a really low latency stream or something like that.
It's just a bandwidth issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bandwidth thing. It sucks if you're like with me, it's like I'm in this like massive shared building where it's like my bandwidth's not consistent.
Yeah.
So I could never really do that, and I think a lot of people are in similar situations where it's like if you're in like a big household and you have kids or something, like you can't rely on everyone to stop unless you're playing at like 3 a.m. Clocks are not that important.
It's true,
but they're not that important. They're not that important. But it can be nice if you're like you want to have at least some level of like consistent whatever. I don't know. You don't really need them. If you're in ambient mode or drone mode or whatever, you can probably get by.
Yeah.
Or just one person is doing all the clock stuff and then someone else is doing all the not clock stuff.
Yeah, that works as well.
That works too. Because it would be nice if you could at least get that in like time enough so that you can kind of play along to it. Would be cool. I know at least if you have a keyboard in front of you. That was one of the nice things we had done is we had that mini freak going, but we didn't have any sequencing, or I don't even know if we passed clock into it. We might
We
have,
tried
but it didn't
to,
work.
but
Yeah.
there's no like we'd ever reset. So when you hit the ARP, it just like started
Yeah.
when you hit it, but it didn't sync. It was in the right tempo, but it wasn't synced.
It wasn't the right kind of phase or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that wasn't really getting any clock, but it was a lot of fun because you could just sit there and play. You can listen with your ears, you know, just
Yeah.
and which is
Just don't worry about it. It's fine.
yeah, it's fine. Just
All
watch
right.
everything in reverb and no one will notice.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Second topic, related but different, but also kind of the same but different. This is one from Carson actually, and he was talking about getting stuck in a genre, or finding it difficult to break out of like a modular genre.
Yeah.
Which I agree is pretty tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Have any thoughts on that? I mean, for the stuff I've heard from you is quite electronic-y.
Yeah, definitely. I do a lot of electronic-y things, but not everything. I like to think that a lot of the music I make doesn't sound necessarily modular-y. Or sometimes I'm capable of making music that doesn't that people aren't like people can't clock as like being like, oh yeah, that's a Eurorack guy doing Eurorack things. They're more like, oh, that's just an electronic track. So I think working within a genre is it's definitely like thinking about like kind of genre sort of, there's sort of tropes you find. So like as an example for kind of house stuff. Yeah, so Jay Blanco says keep general motifs. Yeah, motifs, tropes. Like, okay, so for house stuff, right, you've almost always got a kind of 4-on-the-floor kick. And sometimes before the last one, you'll have an extra little beat. So it would like bump, 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 you know?
Yep.
It helps to swing your clock. It helps to have an offbeat hi-hat. Those are all things that will kind of make it sound like, that'll make things that sound nice when it's like it'll be like you can tell it's a house track or whatever. Now, modular sounds, I find like, I don't know, what really makes something sound like it's modular is maybe kind of part of that question. You know, because it's tricky.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's partially it comes down to like the building of voices, which is how a lot of people think about building a case. You know, I'm gonna a bass voice, a lead voice, some pad stuff, and some drums, which is probably how they'd also approach like an Ableton session.
Yeah, or even like just a big DAW setup with desktop synth and stuff. Yeah,
and that will work for a lot of styles of electronic music.
Yeah.
If not everything. I don't think modular isn't a genre, but there are genres that modular does mostly or usually.
Yeah. And there are some genres that modular is also really bad at, I'll say, or without genres that it's bad at without like particular modules that you have. So like,
sure,
one thing I've been wanting to do is like kind of more break stuff, sort of break beat, kind of jungly type things. And the thing is, when you do that, you need like sample based, kind of step by step, carefully thought out drum sequencing, which is something that, while possible in modular, is not that easy. Like there's some things like you can get like a sample drum does it, and like the Disting has clock sample playback.
Yeah,
but like
Squid sample
kind of, Squid sample as well. But again, like it's not as easy as just like taking a sample and just sitting there and chopping it in Ableton and moving things around with the
Yeah.
mouse and keyboard. You know, it's like so sometimes working within a genre like that in modular can be a real challenge. You know, it helps to sort of supplant it, I think, with other external gear sometimes. Like,
Sure.
you know, if you're doing like synthwave or housey stuff where you want like really big pads and you want to play out specific chords, chord sequencing in modular, unless you have like a Droid or a Symphonion, is kind of hard to do like nice chords or whatever. Yep. Nicely like voiced chords. And so that might be a thing where it's just like, just bring in your fucking mini log, put that next to it, put your vocal next to it, you know. And I think yeah.
Do you think there are some genres that just don't come about with a single person making the music?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's it. Well, I think definitely a lot of non-electronic music's like that. I think if you want to make like I've been listening to a lot of prog rock recently, and prog rock is definitely the kind of thing where a lot of it is complex to the point where like one single person doing it is probably gonna have a bad time, because you tend to want like a number of pretty technical musicians doing things like, oh yeah, like you've got one person noodling on going crazy on the guitar, and then like a super weird time drummer, and like, you know, there's all sorts of whatever that needs to happen, where it's like it's difficult if you were to try doing that where you just like overdub yourself playing every instrument in different tracks. Your electronic music, I think in general tends to be something where it's a lot kind of more individual. Like it's easier to be a one-man band kind of with it. But I wonder, I don't know if there's any things that would.
I mean, is it rude to say that that's why these things were invented for people who don't have friends?
Well, definitely. I mean, like, definitely that's where like kind of drum machines and stuff came about, because drum machines sort of were invented because it was like an organist or like a guitar player would like need a drummer but didn't have a drummer, so you need like a little drummer in a box. It's the whole like drum machine cannot be stopped type thing, where there was like a whole anti-drum machine sentiment in the 80s, because people were like, it's gonna put drummers out of business.
Yeah.
Never have drummers again.
I mean, they're maybe not so wrong as they.
To an extent, yeah, definitely. I mean, like, there are definitely genres of music now where it's like drummers are not welcome.
Yeah, but then I guess maybe that's also elevated some other things.
Yeah. It's definitely I think it's a net good. I don't think it's really like eliminated people per se. Modular.
Well. How the turntables.
Modular polka. You could do modular polka.
You just need an accordion and a looper. Or not even a looper, you just need an accordion and a line input.
So quite often there's like a Wikipedia page for a genre that's got like example rhythms. Yeah. Or that describes, like you said, like the tropes or the rules or the motifs. And they're you can just copy those.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind, I thought, like conceptually behind like the mutable grids or whatever, is it's kind of got a bunch of kind of algorithms. It's got algorithms. It's got like patterns programmed in that are based on like pulled from like drummers and kind of tropes within a genre or whatever. So like it's got like you'll have rhythms, or like the Euclidean thing is really interesting too, because the whole Euclidean sequencers arose out of like this one like academic paper or something, where it's like they found that like the Euclidean patterns matched up with some like things that found in different cultures' music. So like like the kind of that made no sense.
That's
like
just an eighth note.
That's just an eighth note. No, like the 5 bars within an eighth note, like the dut 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 dut.
Yeah, sure.
That's kind of like Euclideanly distributed within an eighth. I might be bullshitting right now, but and then it's like you also hear that in like bossa music or whatever, just like kind of organically generated. So
Yeah.
like, you know, it's kind of those genre tropes are sort of, there are some things that have it like built in, which is super nice. But
Yeah. I mean, reggae's a really easy
reggae,
to
yeah.
hear example, right? The rules of reggae are so simple.
Yeah.
It's the what is it the one drop? It's
Yeah,
the
something.
guitar plays on beat one,
Da,
like a
da,
kind of
da,
a
da.
muted chord thing.
Yeah, it's an offbeat thing, and then you
Yeah.
also tend to have, there's a bunch of like rhythm, like the like reggae rhythms that are like,
Yeah.
like there's the what's the one called? It's the one that is fuck, I'm trying to think of it. Where is it? There's one called the I'm trying to think of it. I'm not finding it. But there's like names for certain ones where you'll hear like a dozen reggae tracks that have exactly the same drum beat in them,
Yep.
and they're just working off of it differently, and they sound very similar. But that's
Yeah.
a very, you know, a very good example of that.
I think there's space in the market for another grids esque thing.
But maybe I find grids can be a little clumsy sometimes. Sort of with using.
I mean, it's pretty old. I mean, is that
pretty old? Yeah,
20
12, something like that.
a
2013.
while ago, like a long time ago?
A long time. I think it was the first mutable module. Yeah, or braids was maybe.
Mm.
It was that or braids, I think. But
yeah, I mean, it's way back there anyway.
yeah, it's old, and it's one of those things where it's like sometimes you'll find it just doesn't, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of kind of Euclidean sort of algorithm sequencing.
Roasted.
Yeah, I mean, Euclidean stuff's just hard to. It's quite hard to use.
It can be hard to integrate into things.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to work within a genre, right? You're trying to be like, oh yeah, I want house. It's like you have to do certain things. If you start setting like your chords to trigger in like a weird Euclidean thing, it might not work as well if they were just on every quarter note or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like
It could just sound weird.
your kick has to be kind of 4 on the floor, or you know, stuff can get like I find it gets really busy when you see demos of grids where it's like going back to Mylar Melodies. This one thing I dislike about him is that a lot of his music, you can hear he's like doing a lot of that kind of Euclidean-y algorithmic stuff, and it's just like that is a lot going on with the percussion. It's hard to keep track of what is happening musically. It just sounds like a cluster.
Roasted.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's his thing, and his stuff is very much based around like live. It's got to sound good every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Don't do it yourself.
And like that's not to harp on it too much. Again, that goes back to the thing of like having fun. Like if you like it and you're having fun with it, like fuck yeah, keep going. And also it's like, you know, it's just I don't know. I think it is powerful a lot, but maybe not on. You have to know when to use it. Use it in moderation, I guess. Especially if you're trying to work within a genre, like use modular bits and modular sequencing in kind of moderation sometimes. Like over modulating can be a bad thing. I think it could be a trap to fall into. You know.
Yeah. So, what would you want to see from a Grids Mark II?
Yeah, I wonder. I think kind of maybe. I like the way that Grids Mark II does. I like that it has like a fill parameter on it. I think that's cool. But it would be nice if you could sort of, instead of just randomly applying that, if you could kind of decide when you want to trigger fills. Like you just be like, do a random fill like now on this trigger. That kind of thing I think is cool. And then maybe sort of an easier way to control like how patterns sort of go. Like I know it's sort of like you turn up the knob, it gets busy. But with the XY thing, it feels like you're kind of just hunting in the dark for whatever there is. Like a way to kind of navigate through things in a nicer, kind of easier to understand way would maybe be good.
I mean, like drum patterns are small, right?
Yeah.
Data wise,
they're not.
So you could do hundreds of banks of or hundreds of layers of grids, maybe. you know.
Even you could do like genre oriented banks. You could be
Yeah,
like,
well, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah, you could be like, put my grids into reggae mode, and then it
Yeah.
only makes kind of reggae sounding
Yeah.
things, or put my grids into to house mode or whatever.
Yeah. I think more outputs.
More outputs is good. Yeah,
Three is not enough.
three.
Plus.
Yeah, three is pretty minimal. It's like kick-hat snare is cool,
Yeah.
but it would be
So
good to make one that's like,
we talked about this with the Percons, which is excellent,
yeah,
but it's only 4 voices, 4 drums,
yeah.
and I kind of want 6.
You kind of want 6 or even 8
Yeah.
sometimes can be nice. That's something I was working on. I wanted to kind of maybe try and port into this module, this big clock thing I've been working on, where it's like you could set one of the channels to be like a grids, and then you could have like 8 of them going at once or something. But definitely requires some software development that I'm not quite smart enough for yet.
Yeah, I mean, you could program it. You could program it like in binary.
Yeah,
Just have like well,
I don't know.
I don't know exactly how grids works like under the hood.
Yeah, I've looked at the code for it, and I also don't understand what
Yeah.
it is. But it does something, and Jay Blanco mentions the Stolper Beats. Hex 7 says Stolper Beats is a really good example of a kind of, in my opinion, of a kind of algorithmy drum thing that is not grids and that is kind of nicely oriented for a different genre, because everything it makes is very kind of, it sounds like you're doing sort of, it's all swung basically,
Yeah,
but it sounds unique and kind of new, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I like Stolper Beats. Stolper Beats is good for that. And I think Stolper Beats also taps into like one of those things that you don't see kind of explored in modular as much, which is like sort of hip hop and
yep,
kind of like hip hop and funk and sort of those sorts of things. Those sorts of elements don't really come into Eurorack as much.
yeah. I think that's coming in a bit more with the Modbap
Modbap is a good example too. Yeah.
company / genre. I mean, I think that is.
Yeah. Like the Performer is really cool with the. Is it the Performer? Is that what it is? Yeah. The thing with the arcade buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like you've got just like kind of like SP404 style things where you just put that on your patch, and it's like if you're doing SP404 style things, like that sounds like it's hip hop or lo-fi hip hop kind of things.
Yeah.
It's just like it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'd like to see maybe some more things. Oh shit. I'm having some
Oh yeah, you're getting crispy.
going crunchy.
You're getting crunchy.
Bear with me 1 second. Just fill in. Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm back.
So
I'm back.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good. Some modules that are like genre specific might be kind of weird. I don't think it's a good idea, but I think it would be cool.
I think they're interesting, but they're hard to sell probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you would know this as a
Yeah.
salesperson, but it's probably difficult to market a module that's like, oh yeah, this is like the reggae module to someone who doesn't like to like what is probably kind of a niche in the modular environment, you know?
But you could do cool things with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you could pitch sequence with it or something.
There are lots of acid modules everyone's mentioning, which is true actually to an extent. There is lots of things that do acid, but I feel like with a lot of acid modules, they're to an extent they're kind of versatile past that, or the TINRS. I don't know.
Yeah,
that.
Tuesday.
I don't know.
It's discontinued now.
Oh man.
Hopefully they'll do a Mark II. There's a Wobbler Mark II.
Yeah. They're working on it. They've been posting.
Because that was
stuff.
cool.
I just
The
Googled
Tuesday was
word
really good.
Tuesday. I'm embarrassed.
It was a bit like it's like grids, but it did pitch stuff as well.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Pretty
Tuesday. Cool. Oh, huh. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's neat. Yeah. I love their panels. Their panels are so cool. They're weird, but they're cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely there could be more genre specific genre specific modules. I think that's a cool, not super explored territory.
Mm. I think there's probably space as well for more real-time effects things.
Yeah.
So like, even if it's guitar pedal ports
Mm-hmm.
of like the crazy vocal pedals they have that like follow guitar chords
Or
and
like,
things.
yeah, harmonizers. You don't really see things like
Harmonizers.
harmonizers
There's
even octave kind of things are cool.
yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that hasn't made it over yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Or no, I guess actually that one habit, the Chase Bliss habit's kind of, I don't know. That's sort of a thing that's already very
Yeah.
modular-y in itself. But
I mean, that I don't know if that's maybe a chip shortage thing, like which has been set back a few
maybe.
years
Yeah,
for
that
those.
fucking sucks. Oh, IDUM, Jay Blanco mentions as well, are both cool.
Yeah,
IDUM is an IDM module, basically. Yeah. I think that kind of thing is cool, like, definitely for making stuff like algorithmic or like random sort of pitch. Like, there's a lot of things in modular that you can do, but are kind of difficult to do. Like, they're a pain in the ass. So, like, stuff that sort of takes that and kind of makes it a little more easy to do is cool. But we're maybe working a little into gear talk at this point.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
still,
Trashmaster, etc.
Trashmaster.
Is
Yeah,
Trashmaster genre specific? What does it do?
It's isn't it just like, it's not like Trashmaster. I forget what Trashmaster does.
What does it do, Heck? Tell us. Daft Punk's. Which Daft Punk sounds?
There's a lot of Daft Punk sounds.
They've got a lot of sounds.
Wabadim MD WMD Trashmaster. Oh, it's a distortion filter. Ah, yeah. Oh, it was made by that one band though. That's like a band specific module right there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna get fucking destroyed. What is the band?
Yeah. Well, there's the Throbbing Gristle.
Yeah.
Future Sound System stuff as well.
Yeah, Mastercraft is the band. With that. I kind of am a fan of like signature person. Like I like, maybe this is kind of what people hated about the Ghost or whatever, but like I totally like the idea of being like, it's this guy's module. It's like, it's kind of funny to me, at least.
Yeah. I guess with that one though, like it's not like Andrew Huang has like a sound particularly.
Yeah, Andrew Huang is actually, it's sort of his sound is that he doesn't have a sound.
Yeah, he's just an incredibly clean, incredible producer of stuff.
Yeah. But I think it would be interesting to have like, whatever, like this module makes you sound like X person. It's kind of funny. It's just a funny concept to me.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I guess you could argue like the ZVEX Lo-Fi Junkie, that thing. I don't even know if you can get those anymore.
No, not anymore.
That was like the Boards of Canada module. Like it makes you sound like Boards of Canada. You put anything into it, Boards of Canada, straight up.
Yeah.
Ninja Tune Zen Delay collab. I don't know what's really that Ninja Tune about the Zen Delay, to be honest. I love Ninja Tune. I love the label. But it's not especially I don't know.
Div Kid. Yeah.
Div Kid. Makes you sound like Div Kid. Dick's signature mutes. More like makes you not sound like Div Kid because you're not making any sound.
Yeah. I think that was the joke he was trying to make.
Yeah. Was that his first one, or was the Oct first?
Mutes was first.
Mutes was first, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then Oct, then Stereo Strip.
No, the other thing, the sample and hold. What's that thing?
Oh yeah, sample and hold. Round Step, then Stereo Strip.
Stereo Strip.
It.
Round Step. Yeah, Round Step. Anyways, yeah. To summarize, I guess, playing within genres, it's good to know kind of the sort of restriction, like not the restrictions, but the cliches, the tropes of your genre.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of ways to explore genres in interesting new ways.
I think so too.
And interesting old ways too. Don't be afraid to do something that has already been done 500 times, like 500 million times. Sometimes an offbeat hi-hat is all you need.
Usually that's what you need. Yeah,
Usually that's a kick and an offbeat hi-hat. You don't even fucking need a snare. You don't need a clap, anything.
something's hard to get in modular.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Stopper Beats does the sloppy timing thing.
And like drum breaks, like warping nice break samples into easy to manipulate parts that you jump around can be also tough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's where it's nice to like the Electron boxes just recently added in sample warping a la Ableton, and that I'm sure is going to see a lot of use in kind of, you know, amen break type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think going external from modular opens up quite a lot of other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of other options.
Totally. Because there's a lot more kind of specific. I mean, the Zen delay was mentioned. That's a great kind of dubby delay. If that's like the kind of thing you like to do. If you want to do like reggae or dub or that kind of thing, you might want.
I guess
where it's like big knobs, you can just go.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And I guess the whole point of modular from the start was like breaking stuff down into parts, and we're kind of now like coming back around again, where people are like, I don't want the parts, I want the whole thing.
Easy to use format.
And I think that's fair enough. You know,
I think it's cool. It's cool to an extent because you have some things where it's like maybe not easy to use, but it's like it's optimized to a point where it's like you're always going to kind of build out this type of voice. So here's a good way to have more succinct control over it instead of sort of harder to get together clusters of things.
What do you mean? Miniaturization will happen. I think it's happened.
I think it has happened.
I think it's happened.
Actually, we were talking about the other day. Someone on the Winterbloom Discord had found an IC. It was a transistor, and it's a transistor that only plays "It's a Small World."
Oh yeah.
When you power it up, and I think that's almost like that would be fun. It's just like an art project. It's just like button to play Small World. Like it's just it just does one thing.
Yeah.
That kind of the exact opposite of a nice like versatile everything in one.
Big honking button with
not
long enough sample.
Yeah, a little bit.
I guess.
Yeah, I think actually Big Honking Button can have long samples. They just need to be really crunchy.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, or you can do radio music or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah.
All right. Any other stuff on your mind?
Oh, that was all of the slideshow. I thought there was more.
There's only 4 slides. Look, the first show.
Oh shit! Yeah. All right.
What the fuck?
What I missed, DJ MJR, you come in right.
You missed the whole show.
You missed the entire thing, man. We were actually just wrapping up now.
What the fuck?
I think. Oh, this has been on my mind. Has been. I kind of want to try porting over a bunch of things to. I think there should be more ports of old modules onto easier to get hardware. Now that there's a chip shortage.
Okay.
So I was thinking like, I really want to port the 16N fader bank to a Raspberry Pi Pico because that's like there's nothing on there that is. There's no reason it needs to be a teensy, and yet it requires a teensy, which are expensive and big and all that.
I guess the question I would have is how long do you give it for the people who make them right now to do that?
I mean,
I know I think that one's open. That one's completely open source as far as I know. But
like that, or like even fucking. I was looking at the Mofinzeef.
What the fuck?
The Mofinzeef like little glitch drum thing where it's like he can't make them because they're at megas, but like it's an at mega chip. Like that's basically the same as the Pico or whatever. Like, you know, it's not. Yeah, more powerful. But then it's not more powerful.
Like, isn't the point of those ones that they're just like they're kind of bad?
Well, yeah, but like the Pico's pretty bad itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be fun to kind of do some sort of like modern refreshes of old stuff.
I think the 16N, because it's like such a clear purpose. The Mofinzeef thing, just do your own.
Shit
drum machine.
I think. Shit drum machines. Drum machines are cool. Definitely. Squeaky, weird.
I think um, remaking existing stuff is a good idea,
Mhm.
but as long as you're not shoving existing stuff behind existing panels, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
don't just stick it on an ornament in crime because it will fit, because
Yeah.
it won't be nice to use, or at least you've got to do the work to make it nice to use.
Yeah, UX and UI have been a thing. I've been thinking about it a lot, definitely, because the reason I've been thinking about making a new fader bank is because I've been using the Norns and it's been infuriating me that it doesn't have more onboard controls, and I just
Okay.
really want a shit ton of faders to mess with. Um, that's maybe more Eurorack is fine in that department because there's so many controls everywhere.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's just a MIDI controller with
that's just MIDI control. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
like
But I think
Steam.
there is a tendency for things to trend towards like worse control interfaces are definitely like happening sometimes, and it's kind of annoying. A lot of the mutable like alt firmware things where people are like modding in all this like on paper really cool functionality, but in practice awful to use stuff. Just
Yeah.
like absolutely terrible UI. Like the rings alternate firmware just like hold two buttons down to swap it into a different mode, and then it's got a million different like red and green combination because there's only three colors on each light, and you just have to
Right.
figure out
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
each of those mean for all these different settings and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, you know,
Hmm.
it could be a UX issue. Um,
Oh no.
oh no, Street Fighter combos. Yeah,
Yeah.
Street Fighter combos. But conversely, maybe it would be fun. This kind of relates to our idea for this menu module. Your idea for the
Oh, yeah.
menu module is maybe you should make a button combo only module where like to get it to do anything,
Yeah.
you do complicated like it comes with like a Street Fighter like up down down whatever.
Yeah. You could have it just have like a connector for a PS2 controller or an
Yeah,
Xbox
yeah,
controller,
totally. Oh, that'd be
and it's
so
just
much
got
fun.
CV outs and the Xbox controller. But it doesn't
Well,
like just one button doesn't do anything. You've got to
yeah,
do the
one
combo.
button doesn't do anything. You have to pull out combo. Maybe
Yeah.
combos will pull off different sequences. Like it
Yeah.
has like a bank of sequence. Or it's like a grid where it has like different things, and if you want to shoot off something, you have to be like.
Yes,
And then
feels like a bad idea.
What about What about this? What about this? You send it a clock, right? And it will run a certain sequence. And to change the sequence, you have to put in a button combo. You have to put in like a combo, and that's the only way to get it to stop doing what it's doing right now. It doesn't have any knobs on board. You
Okay.
just have to use that. And so maybe you also supply it with like only a couple of them. Like you're only like, here's a couple starter ones. Just figure out other ones. And you make people like figure out what the module does.
Yeah.
Module
I
is
think
a
that
special
would
move.
that would mash up well with the menu module.
I think it would. I think it would.
Um,
Absolutely infuriating to use things that do very little.
yeah, because
Yes,
you would want some feedback that you've done the combo right. You know, so you'd want
Maybe
like
you
a
could put the
Hadouken or whatever
instructions
going.
for the combo module inside the menu module, and they're
Yeah.
just hidden deep within
It's like
menus.
it's like is it Simon? Simon Says that like
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
like a
yeah.
it's like a quick time event. You've got to mash square.
You got to
get-
bash square to bash square.
Yeah,
Or,
to
or like your
continue your
fucking.
sequence.
Maybe it like powers itself off if you don't interact with the QuickTime
Oh
events
god,
enough.
terrible ideas.
These
Never
are
gonna happen.
terribly great ideas. I think they're really funny. It's like the one module that like kills your power supply, but less obnoxious.
Instructions module. Is that
Oh.
just that's just a module with a screen that has the manuals for all your other modules on it?
It's just like a Kindle.
Right.
You just
It's the Kindle.
You're rack mounted a Kindle.
But it's a tiny little shit.
It's a tiny little
LCD.
shit LED. Yeah. No, not
Yeah.
even OLED. Yeah, like an LCD.
Yeah. It's a
Black and white,
it's a-
not
it's a-
backlit.
It's like the Braid 7-segment
Yeah.
display, and the menu,
Yeah,
the whole manual just scrolls.
really,
From the
really
start.
slowly.
Really
You can't-
slowly.
You can't speed it up. Yes. Reinvent the droid ecosystem, but way worse. Yeah, I like bad module ideas. I think there should be more just terrible. Well, like Muffins Eve kind of has a couple. He has his like bad idea number whatever. Like he's got like a super power starved oscillator that just is always crying because it doesn't have enough. Or he's got the one thing that makes the dial up noises, which I think is actually really cool. But
Yeah, isn't that one just like a WAV player,
I think so, actually. Yeah,
something
it might
like that.
be.
Because I think you can. It's got
It's not a DTMF like.
drum machine firmwares. I think.
Oh, see, that's too useful. I liked it just
Yeah.
in the fact that it just makes phone noises.
Just this one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the distinct screen. Yeah, the distinct screen. Or you could have it where you have like the screen module could have just a like a line of screens going down the front, like the like that one. What's the one? Heck has that one Paratech visualizer thing where it's got like 3 OLEDs that all just like make cool visuals when you plug stuff into them.
Oh, cool.
It'd be like that, but scrolling text that's itty bitty.
Yeah, of manuals.
Yeah, it's just manuals.
It's just manuals all the way down.
Maybe it's CV controlled manual generation, so it like makes up manuals. It's like it makes random manuals up.
It generates manuals for things that don't exist.
It generates manuals. Yeah,
Right.
Almost like not like a like almost like an AI thing. Where it's just like maybe not.
It's gonna happen eventually that someone sticks an AI in a module.
Yeah, I wonder what'll happen then. I don't think it's going to be that interesting. I don't know.
I don't think it'll be that interesting. No.
I don't think because there's a certain level of like. I think one of the biggest restrictions of like the AI stuff right now, at least, is that like it's really difficult to kind of like finely tune it, like edit things, like without it just kind of fucking up and redoing something completely different.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
That's a loud one.
That's a yeah. You lose the tweakability, I guess, of modular if you have the AI because it's kind of doing all the tweaking for you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really see what it could do that. I mean, the output of modular in general is pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's
not like a picture.
It's a 5-volt or a 0-volt at a certain time, or it's a between -10 and +10 at a certain time. Yeah. Ultimately, that's all you can actually have.
Yeah.
Unless it's like crazy effect stuff, but I mean, who knows?
AI controlled effects. I don't even know. I don't. Yeah. The appeal of it is that it's all very human. I think for me at least.
Yeah.
So it would kind of lose its luster if it was like.
Probably the way it would work would be more like prompted functionality.
Yeah.
So you just say, I need you to be
a
filter like this filter, or like be kind of like an echophone and an verb.
Oh, and then it like pretends to try and
it just does the DSP for you.
That could be cool.
That could be cool
if you made it, if it actually worked.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the same. Like Norns has a synth called Molly the Poly, and it has this thing for making random presets where it's like a poly synth, but you can just hit a knob and it will just randomize all the parameters within a certain extent. So it's almost like a kind of version of Grids. I mean, Grids is an AI in your modular. That's an artificial intelligence. It is to an extent. I mean,
no,
it's an AI in the same way like video game NPC AI is an AI. It's not like machine learning deep whatever.
Well, I mean, come on.
I don't know.
I mean, this really crap AI.
Yeah, definitely. But this mod was like it like randomizes presets within a certain thing. So it's like, okay, I'll make a kind of patty sounding thing, and it will sort of randomize the presets in a way where it makes a kind of randomly made pad. So I could see that kind of thing. But again, that's just randomly shuffling parameters. That's not really like learning.
Yeah. Is that any different to just like using noise?
Yeah.
For your source.
Module that accepts voice input converts to a ChatGPT prompt for lyrics, and then ChatGPT plus a vocal synth sings a thing for you in a chipmunk voice. Heck, that is the most horrible idea I've ever heard in my life, and I do like it very much.
Yeah. I think let's not do that one.
Let's not. Maybe that won't be part of our menu module line.
No. I mean, ultimately, that kind of thing is going to have to be just like an ESP Wi-Fi chip.
Yeah, it'll just
Find
like
a panel,
stream
right?
over to it and then bring.
Yeah, because you can't fit.
Imagine a
servers
loading screen
needed.
on a module. That would drive me fucking nuts if I had to go through a
Oh,
long
yeah, right.
loading screen to like try and make it do something.
The menu module does that.
The menu module does do that. Yes,
Yeah,
the menu
it's got-
module.
A 25-minute. It needs to update.
Searching
know.
for updates could not
Yeah.
connect to the internet, and there's like no Wi-Fi chip in it.
Yeah,
It doesn't
downloading
actually-
15
actually-
gigabytes of update, day one patch.
And then
First time you turn it on.
it like fails in the middle of it. You have to restart it and redo it a couple times.
Yeah, auto updates during performance. Yes.
It's like the Windows 10 fucking.
Yeah, it's like a 1 in 100 chance that it just starts updating.
And it just doesn't do anything else. We really ought to write these down, right? Write these
Yeah,
numbers down.
we'll start a spreadsheet somewhere. Cool. That's been an hour.
That's been an hour. That's probably good.
Anything else from chat?
Yeah, anything else from chat that you'd like to
Anything
bring in?
happening? Anyone streaming?
Anyone we have to make stream after this?
Yeah, is anyone going to stream tonight? Someone do a mini march.
Mini march.
I think mini march has been quite successful
Mini
so
march
far.
has been good. Yeah, I haven't done one yet, but I will.
I mean, I guess it's quite easy, right? Because
Yeah, you just do something with a small setup.
even if you only have a couple of modules,
Yeah,
you're
sweet.
good to go.
Very accessible. Someone stream something not stream. Someone do a really bad stream tonight. I want to hear just the worst music I've ever heard.
What the fuck did you do to me? Holy fucking shit!
That was longer than I
I'll
expected it to
do.
be.
Oh yeah, I know. I can do that stream.
Yes, do a terrible stream. Just do a terrible stream.
In fact, if I
Modular Polka. How dare you slander the name of Modular Polka like this?
we did this one,
No,
we did modular polka.
I
Oh,
think
he wants it.
Heck is recommending it as a bad stream.
Oh.
Someone needs to get Weird Al in front of a Eurorack.
Well, he's probably got one.
No.
Do you think? No?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Maybe.
He doesn't seem like a synthesis type guy. Maybe if
He
you
must have a
start
couple
to-
of things.
He probably does.
He's probably
Maybe
got a
if
mini
he's-
moog.
Yeah, I might have a mini moog. He might have, or like he probably has a Nord or some shit like that for like touring around and stuff. But
Phonogene and maths only.
that's
Which
not
one's
fun.
Phonogene again?
That's like the old Morphogene, like sample thing, or it's like tape, virtual tape thingy. It's old though. It's been discontinued
Is
for
that
a while.
way old? Is that like Telharmonic?
That's
old?
like Telharmonic's not that old. It just got discontinued.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's like
So-
it's like MMG old.
Oh, that's pretty old.
Yeah. The UR tape module. Yeah. An accordion is just an acoustic groove box. You're
Boom.
just an acoustic
Roasted.
groove box.
Boom, boom. Roasted. That's what she said.
Oh god.
This is even if you have not got a chance to use.
Oh shit! Like, should we save them for future episodes?
I can get more.
Oh, that's true as well.
I mean, if we talked about modules being expensive.
I declare bankruptcy!
You know.
That's me just trying to buy any modules.
Oh, you got a bowl. You got a new bowl, didn't you? That was
I
your
did
big
get a new
purchase,
bowl.
right?
Do you want me to grab my bowl?
No, we're stopping.
What the fuck did you do to me? Holy fucking shit!
All right, cool.
yeah.
We're gonna stop because I need to go get more wine.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah,
We'll
thanks
be
for
back.
coming by. What the fuck?
At some point, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we'll switch off with heck. We can do it like every other week or something. Take the load off.
Oh, every other week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Every
maybe.
month. Monthly.
Maybe.
Who knows?
I'd like to find more like structure
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be
Structure it
helpful.
like a game show.
Like a game show, number one.
Game show. Yeah, exactly. That's
What the fuck is that?
You need a That's Number Wing sample.
I don't have enough. I don't have one. I'll get one.
Ah, you gotta get one next time. You need a That's Number.
I declare bankruptcy!
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
All right.
I'm gonna
cheers.
go. I'm gonna play us out with some ambient.
Yeah. I'll mute.
What the fuck did you do to me? Holy fucking shit!
The fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing? The fuck are you doing?
All right. Bye.